Hello everyone, this is Jim G from Jim G's Coaching Club, and I want to welcome you today to this video chat that I'm about to have with a couple of good friends of mine. Leon Griggs, the president of Freedom First Real Estate Investment Club here in town, and Joe McGuire, who's the vice president. And what I'm about to do is I'm going to show you a conversation that we had, a private conversation that we had about their upcoming 2019 Real Estate Investment Summit. It's a national summit that's held. It's going to be held here in Rochester, and it's going to be pretty crazy actually, because they got a number of national speakers, Mr. Landlord, and then they got, they're giving away all kinds of prizes, where flat screen TVs and computers and smart TVs. And then the other thing that they're doing is they're raffling off. There's a few local investors here in town that they've agreed to donate their time for this raffle. And what they're doing is they're gonna, whoever wins, so each one of them, you have one that's rehabbing, it's a rehabbing expert, you have one that's a rent to own seller finance expert, and then you have one that is a wholesaling expert. And they're all gonna take one of the winners, each one that wins the raffle, under their wing for a day, and let them shadow them and see exactly what they do. So that's pretty crazy. But what we're going to do is we're going to get into that and talk about it here in our little private conversation. And I wanted you all to just kind of be a fly on the wall and listening. All right. Now, the other thing is, if you do have an opportunity to get to the summit, I would recommend you go. It's going to be wonderful. I mean, the Freedom First community, Freedom First investment community is very close-knit, but very welcoming. There's so much that new and seasoned investors not only get from this, but they share. They're just openly sharing with one another the things that are working for them. So if you get a chance, I'll be there. Be a great time. So with that said, here we go. Summit. What's the name of the summit?
Upstate New York Real Estate Investment Summit.
Upstate New York Real Estate Investment Summit. So Freedom First. It's hosted by Freedom First. Where's it going to be at?
It's going to be at the Rochester Institute of Technology.
Okay. All right.
We just call it RIT in Conference Center.
So RIT and that's in it's in Henrietta. And so what is the purpose of the summit? Why are you holding this?
Well, I think the main reason why we're holding it is to give folks an opportunity to learn about real estate investing, to do it in a way that that fits with what Freedom First does. And that is, it allows individuals to learn how to be real estate investors without spending upfront a large sum of money, a large sum of dollars. They can take the summit and other elements associated with Freedom First, like individuals who have knowledge, that openly share their knowledge with anyone that's a member of the organization, and most of them go well beyond that. So it's unlike a lot of the other avenues that people have, where they have to pay thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to get the information and the knowledge that allows them to be successful as real estate investors.
Yeah.
We have members who have never paid to take a class that's successful real estate investors.
Yeah, and I know that you when you talk about a couple of those members, there are some members that are actually teaching now too, right? That are very successful in their niche of real estate. You want to talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, I mean, there's several people. And they teach through some of the training that Freedom First puts on through its Investor Academy sessions. There are others who basically have their own training that they've set up, and it's somewhat outside of Freedom First, but the knowledge that they gained to be able to do that was largely provided by Freedom First, because Freedom First helped them become successful real estate investors. A good example would be Brett Iwanowicz, who's going to be one of the people that we're going to have providing a video, and he basically teaches individuals how to be successful in the rehab space. How you will buy a property, renovate it, and then be successful.
Like, tell me what he does, because I know he's doing the rehab stuff, but you know, Brett's pretty successful at what he does. Tell me a little bit about what he's going to be doing, or what he does, not what he's going to be doing, but what does he do?
Well, I mean, the main thing that he's into now is I know he made a little bit of a shift in some of his models that he had, and he's focusing on doing rehabs.
Okay.
And he's been really successful at doing them in the past. He's doing some training of individuals similar to what Coach Jim G does, and from the standpoint that, you know, he's out with training folks on how to be successful at rehabbing, basically in the upstate New York space.
Okay, all right.
And then you have a person like Joe LaBavera, who is very, very successful as a wholesaler. And what he does is just openly provides information, knowledge to the individual. And by far, he's the most successful individual I know in the wholesaling space.
You're saying he's doing like over 100 transactions a year, right?
Yeah, typically he does between 80 and 100 transactions a year, and that's in the wholesaling space. But clearly he does other things that in the way of flipping houses as well. But as a real estate business, he covers all those spaces. But when I say all those spaces, whether it's flipping, whether it's wholesaling, you know, he is able to be very successful in those. And clearly one of the things that gives him the advantage is the fact that he's so good at wholesaling, until he wholesales some properties and others he'll just keep for himself, and he'll end up holding those long term after he renovates them, and then other ones he actually sells them on the market as a wholesale rehab flip, if you will. So it covers all three key spaces.
Okay, so real quick question, and then we'll move on from Joe, but real quick question. So he's going to be there in, and this is, and I'm asking this question, but I kind of already know it just by way of being familiar with Freedom First. I mean, I'm an honorary member in a sense, and you know, I don't get a chance to attend much, but just the few times that I've been in my relationship with you guys, I mean, you know, Leon, you're the president, right? And Joe is what?
Vice president. Vice
president. So you guys, I mean, my relationship with you guys, you know, and then knowing a lot of the members, one of the things that I know is that these guys give away so much information for free. They just want to help people, right? And so Joe is going to be there. He's teaching, or is he going to be able to just talk to people while he's there? Will he be able to do that?
Yes, Joe LaBavera is going to be there. He'll be there talking to folks, of course, about what it is that he does and how he does what he has been successful at as a real estate investor.
And he's allowed you guys to kind of raffle him off and let him go for a day with the person in that wins the raffle, so that they can just go and just shadow him for a day. Is that what he's doing?
That's exactly what he's doing.
Wow.
And when they shadow him, they will learn everything that he does. He's one of those people that is just, he's as open as a breeze outside.
That's crazy.
Okay, just completely tells you everything about what it is that he does, and just full of facts and information and how you need to do things to be successful.
Listen, we'll move on from Joe, but I can tell you, if there's anybody out there that's looking to do wholesaling, I mean, that's, you know, if you win the raffle, you just won gold. But if you haven't, and you just get there, like, just because he's going to be around, and I know how Freedom First works. I mean, when you get there, it's just a community of people that just want to share. If you got questions, I know people want to, you know, people are willing to ask. If you I mean, are willing to answer, and if you and help you, you know, without looking for anything in return, just to help you, because we all remember what it was like when we were there, right? When we first started out. And so so that's, you know, that's a great environment and culture that you guys have developed over at Freedom First, which, you know, where people are just open with their information and willing to help. All right. Okay. So that's huge too. So Brett's going to spend the day with them as well.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. He's going to take that, you know, that takes me back too, because I remember back in the day when I had 50 guys working for me, and we had anywhere from, you know, 1 or 2 handful of projects going at any given point in time. And it was something else, because, you know, we would have guys come in from different parts of the country and just shadow us, you know, on the rehab projects, and seeing, you know, how things are being done. And, you know, that there's a lot of value in that, because, you know, I mean, you guys, I mean, every time I turn around, you're talking about some rehab project that you're working on, that you're involved with, or that. And I know you, Leon, and you've counseled and not counseled, but you've coached a number of people through rehab projects. And so being able to be hands-on at a project, you know, or multiple projects that Brett may be able to take them around to, that's huge value. That's huge value. Yep. And so then you talked about Scott, right? What is Scott doing?
Scott does quite a few rehabs and flips, but he also does things in the private lending space. But the area which he's best known is in the rent-to-own space. And so when he raffles off his time with that lucky individual at the summit, the main thing that he's going to be teaching them is how you do rent-to-own. And he's in a position right now, after doing rent-to-own for the last 4 years or so, he's ready to retire.
Yeah, he's not at retirement age, that's for sure.
Yeah, but he's ready to retire, and he's done it because he quit his job. Actually, I think it was one of those things where the company had a large layoff, and he took the opportunity to move completely into the real estate investing space. And after like 4 years, he's been highly successful, and he understands exactly how one should do rent-to-own in this upstate New York space. He has his own little twist to it, where basically what he does is don't
give it away. Nah, don't give it away. Nope. Whoever's listening to this video, they gotta get there. Don't even give it away. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I know you wanted to hear it, but you gotta come. You gotta get to the summit.
Right. If they make it to the summit, then they get a chance to win one of those 3 prizes that it really, in my mind, is the ultimate prize, where you have someone who's going to teach, explain, go through the details of what it is they do, and they're successful, active real estate investors. I mean, that's, yeah. I think you said it earlier. You know, that's just sweet.
Listen, I've spoken to Scott a number of times. I know, and the reason why I had, you know, I really made it my business to talk with him, because that's how I got out of corporate America 20 years ago. was with rent to own. I did 13 deals that year when I decided I'm going to go back to my non-traditional methods of investing in real estate. And I made $300,000 that year with rent to owns. I wrote my letter of resignation. As everybody knows my story, I wrote that letter of resignation to the bank where I was the vice president, said bye, and I never looked back. I never regretted a day of it. That was 20 years ago. So rent to own, and I know Scott, like right now, Scott is, you know, he's a master at that stuff. And so that's great. And as far as a twist, there's a lot of ways to do rent to own. And I know he's got a special twist that from an entry, a cost of entry, like there's a special twist that from a rent to own perspective, it's not that difficult to get into that market, and you can do very, very well. So I know that that's going to be huge. And if he's going to be there, if you guys are newbies, or even if you're seasoned investors and you're listening to this and you're looking for a niche, you're looking for that niche that can really take you to really doing what Scott was able to do, doing what I was able to do, doing what Leon's been able to do, doing what Joe's been able to do, which is have financial freedom, like financial independence, no more punching the clock, no more 9 to 5, being able to spend the time with our wives and our children and doing the things that we love to do, that we're passionate about, and allowing real estate to support those things. You need to be at the summit. You need to be there. There's one other thing that you mentioned, but there's, and I want to point this out. Like, I know there's so many guys out there that you know, they feel like they got it. They can figure it out. They got it all, but they're missing one piece. They're missing the money, right? They're missing the money all the time. I talk to guys and they're asking me, how do I find the money? How do I get the money to do this deal, do that deal? I know from a private lending perspective, the money is at Freedom First. Go there. Scott's a guy. I know Joe's a guy. There's a few guys. There's money at Freedom First. If you, from a private lending perspective, if you are looking for the money, you need to be there, right? So, and it's a network. It's an insider's network. It ain't like people are just out there going, hey, I got private money. No, you got to be on the inside. Come on. Right? If that's one of the key pieces of the puzzle that you're missing, get there, and it'll open up for you.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
We'll wrap up, but there's one last thing I would just say is that one of the reasons why why a lot of my local guys anyway come and work with me, or make the decision to work with me particularly, is because I'm a local, right? And now, I mean, I work with people all over the world, but I'm a local. These guys are locals. They're people that you can touch, see, feel, and they're gonna take you and they're gonna take you out and show you what they do with their arm around you. Like, they're putting you under their wing for a day, right? They're not going to be here, on the computer coaching you. They're going to be out in the real world, so you can see, because most of you guys, that's what you're doing. You're out in the real world, right? And so the value of that, and so if you're a local, or if you're someone that wants to come into the local market, right, and get that, just that extra attention. I know this, you guys know it too. Like, people pay tens of thousands of dollars for stuff like that. I know people that have come to me and said, I just did this course and this training and I spent $15,000. And what'd you do? Well, we went there for the weekend and they took us around to some projects, and then we sat in a classroom. And I'm like, so how many properties you buy? Nothing. What? Like, are you kidding me? So this is free. Number one, it's $89 for the summit. That's it, and you're gonna get a lot more than this. But essentially it's free. Like these guys are doing this for free, right? And they're raffling their time. And so listen, get there. I'm done. I'm done.
Just to interject one more thing, you know.
Oh, okay.
You talked about the fact that the guys are local. These guys here, I'm not, I really feel this from my heart, but I'm not sort of making a commitment from their perspective. But I guarantee you, if you win the raffle, you go out with them for a day, they know you. You can call them up. You can say, let's have coffee. You could say, what about this part that we talked about? You can go back and talk to them again and again, because now you build a relationship.
Yeah.
You're not, and you know, so it goes beyond just that one item.
Great point.
It gives someone a connectivity with an individual that's doing the business every day and successful. And now you're in a position now that person is going to be able to share things with you, not just for that day, but as you move forward. So that's that. And I think that sometimes people just look at it and think it's just that one piece, but it's really bigger than that.
Yeah. I know we all wish we had that when we first started.
Oh man. I wouldn't be sitting here now. You know, we're all successful, but I think I could have made some steps where I would be in a beach, you know, somewhere. You know, Caribbean is not that great these days with all the storms, but I can pick a beach someplace in the South Pacific.
All right, great. So listen, get there. I'm not going to say it again, just get there. And when you get there, I want you to make sure you reach out to Leon if you don't know him, reach out to Joe McGuire if you don't know him, and hopefully, I know you guys don't get a chance to see me, because you know I'm not running around with you, right? So come up to me, let's talk, all right? I'd love to see you, love to hear you, and finally meet you in person. So with that said, man, thanks. This is great. I'm looking forward. It sounds like it's gonna be a great time.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it as well, and looking forward to seeing all the people there to increase their knowledge and information about real estate investing.
Cool. So, hey, God bless you. And as always, we'll see you on the next one.